Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the subscribers, thank you all the members, all the patrons, and let's get into it. So today we are basically doing another 5 list, kinda, right? So yeah, instead of premiums or aircraft that need to be added or aircraft that will not be added or anything like that for the future, we are going to talk about 5 possible event vehicles in the future, especially for rank 7 and now rank 8 as well. Some of them might be a rank 7, even though basically just one, I think, but still all the other ones are probably going to be a tier 8, rank 8, or a very late rank 7 with a high BR, basically, you know? So yeah, let's start, let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about the F16. Obviously we're going to talk about the F16. We're going to talk about a block 1 or a very early F16. In a general sense, it can be the block 1, block 5. Any of these would be very, very cool to see. Very, very early 80s, like 1980, 1981 version. Probably for export, so with a very, very cool European skins maybe. There is some Belgium skins with the black nose. The block 1 had a black nose. They later changed that due to the just appearance of the aircraft that it would have in the sky, right? So yeah, and only with IR missiles as well. Probably only with the AIM-9P and AIM-9P4. The AIM-9P4, if you remember, is the AIM-9P or the AIM-9, basically AIM-9J, right, or based on that at least, with the AIM-9L seeker. So it would be all aspect, but turning a little bit worse than the L just due to the canards and not having that much energy than the L as well. But it would be very, very similar to that. 6 missiles, you know, basically just a normal F-16, but very, very early. That would be a very, very cool addition to add a little bit to a possible event vehicle. It would be kind of similar to what an F5A would be or something like that, right? It is still a very, very capable aircraft, even fighting with the later third generation aircraft, but still it is limited in some aspects, right? So yeah, that would be very, very cool. Let's go for the second one. The second one that I think it should be added as an event vehicle is the MiG-25P. It is very limited in the sense of performance and in the game, right? It is made for only intercepting bombers and reconnaissance aircraft. So especially the P variant, which is the 1969 variant, it is very, very much a problematic aircraft to be added as a Tech 3 or even as a premium. That would be nice to see as the PD, right? So the PD would, or the PDS could be the Tech 3 variant. Or even premium, maybe, I don't know. And then the P as the event vehicle. You would not have a look-down radar. You would have just normal R40s, no R60s, no cannon. So it would be a very hard aircraft to fly. It would have a lot of performance in the sense of climbing and, you know, acceleration. But all the other senses, it would be very limited. So the idea here is to be an event vehicle so that it can actually be added. It is a very important aircraft for Soviet service, so it would be a very, very interesting one, even if it's bad. I know it probably would be bad, it would be hard to fly, but still, I think it would be fun to have it. Then we go for the third one, the Kafir C-10. It can be some modifications from this, but still, a general idea of a C-10 model, export model of the Kafir, especially for the Colombians and Ecuadorians. It has the Elta 2032 radar, so it has a radar. Even ones there are ones some even more modified, like I think it's called the C13 or something like that, or C12. There's another version that has even an ESA radar, so that would be very, very modern, so I don't think it should be added. But it would be very, very similar to the Kafir C7, but with a proper radar, better missiles, everything else would be very, very similar or the same. So very, very cool aircraft. A lot of people expect this aircraft to be added at some point anyway. And as an export, kind of, I mean, it can be a Tech 3 model because the Israelis actually tested the aircraft and they actually made the aircraft, right? So, I don't know. It can be a Tech 3 vehicle, but I think with the F-16s and F-15s being added later in Israeli, in the Israeli tech tree. I think the Kafir C7 can be another event Kafir. I know we already have the C2, but the C10 is a lot more modern and it has a lot more stuff to be added with that. Sorry, the fourth one, this can be, I mean, a lot of people will like this one if it is ever added. It is the F20, the Tiger Shark. So it is the evolution of the F5 design, the ultimate F5. Initially, it was even called the F5G, which is pretty cool. Has the F404 engine, same engine as in the F18 and other aircraft. It has 76 kilonewtons of power. So yeah, it's a lot more power than the normal F5Es, you know. And they basically have like 40, 30, depending on the version. So it is very, very much improvement over that in the performance department, especially in the sense of power, you know. So yeah, it has even a 1-to-1 thrust weight in certain situations with cross weight. So very, very cool, very, very cool. It has also the capability of using BVR missiles. Obviously, with the better radar, the APG-67, it could carry 4 Sparrows. There are some sources that said that it was tested to use the AIM-120, but the F4 Sparrows will be fine, you know, and can also use the AGM-65s and other guided ammunition for ground attack as well. Only 3 were built, but it is still an amazing aircraft. The performance of it will be an F5 but on steroids, so it would be very similar to an earlier block of an F16. So yeah, the thing is that this aircraft was not built massively, so that's kind of the reason why we should get it as an event vehicle or even a premium, but initially as an event vehicle. That was my idea behind it. Low number production, very interesting aircraft. I mean, it would still be limited, especially compared to aircraft like the MiG-29, F-15, F-16, Su-27, aircraft like that, obviously. But that's not the objective of the aircraft anyway, right? So yeah, very, very cool. And the last event vehicle that it is possible to come in a soonish kind of future, it is the MiG-29 912B, or known as the MiG-29B sometimes as well. It is an export model of the MiG-29 912, which is the initial version. They had 3 variants of the MiG-29 912. We had the 912, 912A, and 912B. So the 912 was the initial variant of the MiG-29 for Soviet service. The 912A was the versions more for pact members and etc. So Germany used that. It was also later renamed the MiG-29G. So yeah. And then we have the 912B, which is for outside of the pact, Warsaw Pact, right? Countries. So Yugoslavia, I think, used it. There's many countries. North Korea. So it can be added for many different skins and different situations. It can be added for both the USSR and China. Just due to the Chinese actually having the North Koreans right there, kind of. And then the USSR as well, having Yugoslavia or any other country that they wanted to add. Some Middle Eastern countries also used it. So it's, I mean, I don't know. I still think it should be to the USSR and add another one. China is not lacking any options. I mean, you can have many types of options to be added there. But it would be cool anyway if it's added for China anyway, right? The differences between the 912, the normal aircraft, for the 912B would be basically tuned down avionics and IFF systems and different radars a little bit. A little bit of a worse kind of situation because they were afraid that some of these countries were going to give these aircraft for the US. And they did. For example, Egypt actually gave them the US, if I'm not mistaken, even MiG-23s to them, MiG-21s and others. So it is problematic to have a very similar aircraft for your own aircraft for the US to just grab one and take a look on your secrets, right? So yeah, the 912B was kind of this idea. Even, I mean, initially at least, even it had the limitation of not being able to use the R-27T, which is probably going to be the main difference in game, right? So we would probably just use our 60Ms and our 27Rs, and yeah, that's basically it. I don't think this one is in particular should be added right now. All of the other ones, with the addition of the initial 4th generation aircraft that are coming, we already have the MatAWG and the F14, but also with the later blocks of F16s, with the MiG-29s maybe coming and stuff like that. I think the F16 Block 1, the MiG-25P, the Kafir C-10, and the F20 can be added like right now if they wanted to on the next winter event or next summer event. But the MiG-29 912B, we would not need to wait a little bit, right? We don't want top tier aircraft for an event, I don't think. So it would be very weird if they added there. So maybe as an event like next year, the end of next year, or even 2024 or something like that. So yeah, but the F20, as I said, can be added right now. The Kafir C-10 would be just a little bit more than the C-7. The 25, I mean, it would be a very difficult aircraft to fly for most players, but it would be very, very cool. And F-16 Block 1, it would be just a super F5, very kind of even similar to the F-20. So yeah. But anyway, these are my list of 5 aircraft that need to be added in the soonish kind of future as an event vehicle, as event vehicles, right? So yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you have any additions, and I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe. We already did my goal of trying to get to 15,000 subscribers until the end of the year, but I'm trying to push it a little bit. Maybe we can get 15,000. My goal for the next year will be 50,000. Let's see if we can get it. Maybe if we get it, I will do a face review or something like that in the next year. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. So bye guys, see ya.